Hello, my name's Michael Thorne. I'm from an education consultancy called Abingdon Advisory. I'm speaking to you today from Seymour College. I'm going to speak to you very briefly about a project that we've done that examines the information that parents need to support students in going to university. But first, let me start with a quick description of the Hume Region of Victoria. The Hume Region stretches from the outskirts of Melbourne all the way through the northeast of Victoria to the Murray River. The area is very diverse, but it doesn't have a single large university city. Instead, it has regional cities and a lot of small townships spread across a very, very large area. In the Hume region, the rate of people with a university degree is about half the Victorian average and much, much lower than metropolitan areas. Also, the Hume region has the lowest Year 12 completion rate in Victoria. It's a very exciting time for the higher education sector because over a number of years now, governments have increased the number of university places. This provides a particular opportunity to students from regional areas to take up a place in university. The key, of course, is to get those students to want to take up a place and to enable them to navigate their way to university successfully. Recognising the challenges that are present in the educational attainment issues in the Hume region, and also the terrific opportunities that are available with the increase in the number of university places provided to the students of Australia. The Hume Regional Development Australia Committee, or Hume RDA Committee, has funded a study to investigate two key questions. What information do parents need to better enable them to encourage and guide their students, their young people, to enter university? And also, how can that information be most effectively provided to parents? We began the project with a literature review, and we looked at literature from all over the world and also at a recent study, or a 2012 study that was funded by the Hume RDA Committee. That study found that information was a key issue, a key barrier to people accessing university. We also discovered through the literature review a not surprising conclusion that parents are particularly influential on young people and the decisions they make about their future, including decisions about education. We also spoke to experts from across the region, and they were very kind and very generous in sharing with us their ideas and their experiences about the way in which parents access information about university and the way in which they assist students in navigating the pathways and crossing the hurdles to entering university. We also had an online survey. This was hosted on the Uni Options website. It was a survey that aimed particularly at parents and carers, and it sought from them their views on what information they would like to see provided about accessing higher education, and also the ways in which they felt that information could be best provided in a format that would suit them. At the heart of the project were the forums that we held in Shepparton, Wodonga, Myrtleford and Seymour. These were public forums, and parents and families travelled from right across the region, many of them coming great distances, to share with us their experiences. They spoke about the challenges they've had in accessing information about university and understanding that information. They were very helpful and very kind in the way in which they shared their ideas and the things that they could see that could be done better so that they could improve the way in which they guide young people in this region to entering university. It was clear from the survey, and in particular from the forums, that parents have a poor understanding about the pathways that lead to university. There are lots of these, and they're often very complex, and parents were clearly struggling to understand them. On one hand, parents were saying that they lacked the information they needed to guide students across the hurdles and through the pathways to university. On the other, and perhaps somewhat contradictorily, some parents said that there was too much information, that they didn't know where to start. Whichever way you look at it, the provision of good information is clearly an issue for parents in the Hume region. There's clearly widespread concern about the costs of attending university and a strong demand for information about costs associated with relocation, with accommodation, as well as direct university costs. Parents at the forums in particular spoke about their respect for the careers teachers across the region and the work that they do every day in assisting students to access university. Parents, and in particular schools, were concerned that some students showed low aspirations for university education. In many cases, these were students who would clearly be able to attend university and could well succeed at university and would reap many benefits from doing so. The outcomes of the forums that we held, the survey results, the literature review and the input from experts were all combined to create a report. This is a very comprehensive report. It has 25 recommendations, and these fall into 5 broad outcomes. The first of these key outcomes is to improve the provision to parents of information about higher education. The The second group of recommendations are aimed at strengthening the role of careers advisors across the region. The third group of recommendations focus on increasing the understanding that families have about pathways to university. The fourth group of recommendations provide improved information about the costs of attending university. The fifth group of recommendations are aimed at improving aspirations for higher education across the region. All of the findings and all of the recommendations are covered in much greater detail in the report. If you've not already done so, I'd encourage you to go to the website and download the report and read it and consider its recommendations. Thank you.
Authorised by Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.